Vaheguru, 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 Guru, Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। शिव शक्त आप उपाय कै करता आपे हुक्म बरताए आप वेखै गुरमुख किसै बुझाए तोड़े बंधन होवै मुक्त शब्द मन वसाए गुरमुख जिसनु आप करे सो होवै एक स्यो लिव लाए कहे नानक आप करता आपे हुक्म बुझाए। शिव शक्त आप उपाय कै करता आपे हुक्म वर्ताए। When Vaheguru Ji created this world through his prakash, through his sound, he created two things. That's why we say, Maharaj says, Prani tu aya laha land. Pran was created. Pran has two parts. One is the breath and other is the Shabad, the Naam. That Shabad and Naam is the prakash of Vaheguru, the light of Vaheguru. And that breath, that pavan, it is needed for our physical body, our lungs and everything to survive. Wherever there is a pavan in the human body, there are thoughts. All the senses are also operated via the pavan, via the breath, via the swas. And Naam is the Atam Ram, that Shabad, that Atma, that soul which we have. So Maharaj said, Shiv Shakt Aap Paike. That Naam, that Shabad, that Atma is also called Shiv. And the Shakat, through the Pavan, that Maya is Trigun, Maya is created. Tehi Guni Sansar Pram Sutta, Sutya Rehn Bihani, Gur Kirpa Te Sejan Jage, Jin Har Man Vasya, Bole Amrit Bani. That Rajogun, Tamogun, and Sattogun. They are there because of the Pavan. And all the things Vaheguru Ji created. He created from the sun. He was sitting in the sun, Arbad Narbad Tundukara. He was totally in the sun on his own. Then he created this game with the Prakash, with the Maya, with the Shiv and the Parvati, Shiv and Shakti, Liv and Tat, all are same. Same thing Kabir Ji is telling us here. Gaudi Kabir Ji, Jot ki Jat, Jat ki Jyoti, Tit Lage Kanchua, Fal Moti. In this creation which you see, Kita Pasao Eko Kwao Tiste Hoye Lakh Dariyao, it was created through the Jot, through that light of Vaheguru. That light which created the creation, that Vaheguru, that which created the creation, that Vaheguru also is in the creation. Such a unique thing. I always say this. An architect creating a building, and he decides that he will stay in this building. Even in the physical world, there are probably very, very rare chances that an architect is creating a building and decides to stay in the building. Here, he is creating so many buildings, and in every building he is there. How is that possible? Because it's Jyot, Prakash Roop Vaiguru, Nirankar Vaiguru, Formless Vaiguru. Jyot ki Jat, the creation, this all beings was created by the Jyot. This whole creation was created by the light. Jat ki Jyoti. And in every creation, in every Jeev, Vaiguruji is staying there in the form of Atamram, in the form of Nam, in the form of Satguru, in the form of Shabad, whatever you want to say. Tit lage kanchua fal moti. And there are two fruits which are coming from this creation. One is Shiv and other is Shakti. Pavan and Nam. Pavan is Maya, Nam is the Jyot Swarup Vaiguru. Two things are coming. Kanchua Fal Moti. It was kacha, it was raw before, and now that raw plant has bared two fruits. And both of the fruits are there inside us. Kavan sokar jo nirbo kahiye, pau paj jaye, abe hoye rahiye, rahao. Now Kabir Sahib is putting a question. Now where is that house within us? The whole Gurbani basically helps us in searching who we are. अपने अंदर छाती मरवांदी है. We have to do self introspection and search. नानक गुरमुख आप पछाणे प्रभ जैसे अविनाशी. कहते अपने आप को पछाणो. Where is Vaiguru inside you? Where is Maya inside you? Where is lust inside you? Where is greed inside you? Where is anger, attachment, ego inside you? कित्थे है? Where is it? गुरमुख होए सुकाया खोजे और सब परम पलाई. That's the job of a Gurmukh. That person is a Gurmukh who searches. And Kabir Sahib is saying, Kavan sukar, jo nirpau kahiye. And which is that house inside us, where I will go, I as in my mind, my surt, where my mind will go, my surt will go, and I will become nirpau. Kavan sukar, jo nirpau kahiye, pau paj jaye, abay hoye rahiye. Pau paj jaye. That my fear will run away if I go there inside my Sukham body. Where is that place? When I go there, I become fearless. Abhay hoye rahiye. Abhay as in nirpo. That I remain fearless, without fear. Which that house is there? We all know nirpo, japa, sagalpo, mite. But where is that place? Guru Bhairu, this is very deep. Remember we talked about the Khat Chakra? There are 6 houses, 6 chakras inside us. Khat name kar kothड़ी बांधी, बस्त अनूप बीच पाई, कुंजी कुल्फ प्राण की राखी करते बेर ना लाई. ए मन जागत रहो रे भाई, गाफल होए को जन्म गवायो, चोर मूसे कर जाई. कहते find which car is there, which chakra is there, where my surt will go and I will become fearless. All these thieves, these chor, Khat name means six chakras. Khat name kar kothadi bandi. This kothadi meaning it's a combination of a sukham body and physical body. And these chakras are the bridges, which are the energy centers, which are connecting our physical body with a sukham body. Khat name kar kothadi bandi bas nu beech pai, kunji kulf pran ki rakhi. Kende the light, the key and the lock are of pran. कुंजी कुल्फ प्राण की राखी, करते बेर ना लाई. We have to find which is the pran, the kar, where that knot is there, where that lock is there, and how can we open that key. Where, and Kabir Sahib is saying, which house is there where my surt will go and I will become fearless. Long story short, it is our Hirdakar, above the three chakras, the fourth chakra. When we go to the fourth chakra, that's where we become Nirpaw. If you see somebody, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਡਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਸੁਪਨੇ ਤੋਂ ਡਰਦਾ ਹੈ, nightmare and everything, they are always scared. They are stuck in the first three chakras. And in the Houston camp, we will go in details which chakra is responsible for which doot. Because these doots are 5. Remember that. These 5 doots are also sitting in each chakra. When that chakra is blocked, that means that chakra is fully occupied by that doot. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, right? Lust, greed, anger, attachment, ego. They are sitting in every chakra. When that chakra is blocked, and we don't have to do any chakra meditation, I always say that so that people don't go confused. Only with the Guru Mantra jap. Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru. This chakra will open, the Kundali will open, everything through the Guru Mantra jap. In Sachi Sangat, in Sat Sangat. Kavan Sokar, jo Nirpaw kahiye, which house is there which will make me Nirpaw? The house is called Nirpaw, fearless house. Paw paj jaye, and if I go there, my fear will go away. Abhay hoy rahiye, rahao. Central idea, pause. Maharaj says pause. And that house, if you will open that house, if with your key and lock of a pavan, निशानियां सारियां नाल है, किस तरह खोलना है. Pavan is a combination of naam and pran is a combination of a naam and pavan. When we will open that lock with Guru Mantra Jap, that's why in normal meditations, right, they only look into your swas, they look into the breath. They will say, when the breath goes inside, look there. When breath goes outside, look there. Maharaj says, no. Maharaj says, connect with the Shabad. Because wherever the Shabad will go, that's why we do long Simran. Vah, and we do Tameen. Vah, Guru, that Pavan will go inside your Nabi and turn back around and go up. It's a circle. When it will do this, along with the Shabad, along with the Gur Shabad, all the chakras will start opening up. That's where Maharaj says, Nirpaw Japa, Sagalpaw Mita. Onu Japna kende. Most of the people, when they jap, their sound is only up till the throat. That's why we say, do a long Simran, slow Simran. Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru. When you get into an habit, then you can do fast Simran also. Then it is very helpful. Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vah. And you should check yourself. When put your hand on your chest and see whether you can hear the sound, your own sound or not. Vah, Guru, go a little bit below there. Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, and you will see the sound will come till Nabi. When it starts going there, that means all those chakras are started opening now. When it goes to the Hirda chakra, and if it opens up, you will become Nirpaw. Hirda chakra as in heart chakra. Paw paj jaye, abhay hoye rahiye, rahao. Tat tirath, nahi man pati aaye. You can go to the bank of the river or a beach or some pilgrimage. And I tried that. Kabir Sahib is giving his personal experience here, sharing with us. Tat tirath, nahi man pati aaye. Mera man nahi pati aaya. I tried that. I sat on the bank of a river. Ganga is, the Ganga ke neer mein, he used to sit in the bank of Ganga. He said, I went there. Still, my mind was not satisfied. My mind was still wandering. Tirath, because Ganga is a Tirath also. It's a pilgrimage also, right? Tat Tirath nahi man pati aaye, char achar rahe ur jaye. I was stuck in a lok lajja. What is the good character? What is the bad character? And that's what people do. When most of us, when we go to a religious place, especially the pilgrimages, and it can be the Darbar Sahib also, any place in the world, people start thinking, should I take a bath here? Should I take a dip in the Sarovar? Should I do this? How should I behave? Should I do Kada Prasadi Dek? Our mind starts going in rituals. The reason why we are there, we forget that reason. The reason we are there is to listen to the Gurbani, to do the Sangat, so that our mind can take a bath. Yes, physical bath is important. It becomes a Amrit because the Gurbani is playing there, but we get so much confused, we get stuck in char achar. What is the good behavior? What is the good character? Char achar rahe or jaye, confused. And then whenever I go to these pilgrimages, I get confused. What is my job? I remember when we were young, my parents took me to Banaras, and there was a river Ganges there, and we did a boating there. And we also did a Ashnan there in that river. And we could see the dead bodies also there, see in the same river. Because a lot of times they burn the body in the banks of the river, Ganga, and they throw the body there in Varanasi, Banaras. It used to be called Banaras, now they call it Varanasi also, right? People, when they do a cremation there, half of the body is burnt because people don't have so much money. Half of the body they will throw it in the bank of the river. I mean, in the river. So you get confused why people are here. They are here for the religious purposes or for something else. Char achar rahe ur jaye. You're confused. Maharaj says, I figured it out. Paap pun doye ek saman. It seems to me, for some people it is a pap. Same thing is a pap, is a sin. For same thing, same ritual, it is a good ritual. So it depends on your thought process. I'll give you an example. How pap and pun is the same. How the good things and the sins are the same. For some people, when you eat meat, fish, and whatever, it gives you protein. They say, oh, it's good for your body. For some, they say, oh, it's a jeev hatya. We should not eat it. Same thing about sharab also. Some people will say wine is good for your health. Some people will say no, it's an intoxication. So what is pap? What is pun? Maharaj says there's only one place where you can be above this pap and pun. Don't get into it. What is pap? What is pun? Every religion, every faith will have a different definitions for it, for all these things. But Kabir Sahib says, Nij kar paras tajo gun an. You know what is paras, Guru Pyare? Paras is a mystical stone. When some metal is touched with that paras, it becomes a gold. Any normal metal, like say iron, when it will be touched with the paras, it becomes a gold. Nijkar paras. Maharaj is telling us where is the paras inside our body. It's in the nijkar. What does that mean, nijkar? When our mind goes steady, when our mind is silent, when our mind is in peace, then mind will experience the paras. That paras is the naam, that paras is the shabad, that paras is a anhad bani, that paras is a light. but the mind has to be steady. Then Maharaj says, then tajo gun an. Now you don't need anything else. Taj deo sara kuch. You don't need anything else. Then you go inside. But that will only happen when your mind will go in peace. Man shant avastha te aayega. Then Paap and Pun is no longer there. Otherwise, Paap is also there, Pun is also there. Paap, Pun, doe ek saman. They are same. Why Maharaj is saying? Because when we are doing Paap and Pun, our state of our mind is in Trigun Maya. We are stuck in Maya. That's why we differentiate. This is Paap, this is Pun. We say, oh, this person is Papi, I am very, very good. And Maharaj says, Pun dan jo beejte sab dharam rai ko jaye. And they will be checked by the Dharamraj, whether you have done good deeds or bad deeds. Because this body, this world, this life, you will have a dukh and a sukh also. Dukh sukh doe kapre, pere jaye manukh. These dukh and sukh is a part of the life. Dukh as in pain, sukh as in peace. They are like a clothes. They will come and go. They all are same. Paap and Pun are same. Dukh and sukh are same. There's not much difference. It's a state of the mind. But when the state of the mind will be thoughtless, no thoughts, zero thoughts, sun, the avastha of sun, zero state, that's called a nijkar. Nijkar paras tajo gun an. And then you will not worry about what is char, what should be my character in this physical world, how should I behave in this physical world. Because then the weight is lifted. You see a little baby, the toddlers and all, they don't care where to poop, where to pee, but if some adult person is doing that, they'll say, oh, see what they are doing. They are not going to the toilet, not going to the bathroom. They don't have manners. They are not cleaning their face while eating, right? But if the baby is doing that, they say, oh, he's a baby. Because baby's mind is very common, stress-free. Maharaj says, become stress-free. Don't take stress. Don't take worries. And that can only happen with Simran. Because with the Saas Gras Simran, we will be able to make our mind silent. There's no other way. And we have to remain silent. Our mind. Nijkar paras tajo gun an. Kabir nirgun. Kabir nirgun naam na ros. Is parchaye parch raho is. Can they remember one thing? Tade te parche pehne. And we have discussed this. Now we are at a state that we can talk about it. When somebody goes very close to the Naam, the avastha of the Shabad, when you start listening to the Nirpo Naam, Nirgun Naam, then Nirgun Naam means Nirankar Naam, which is above the Trigun Maya. Uthe, don't be angry. Sometimes what happens is, when you reach in the stage of the Naam, when you start listening to the Naam, let's say somebody started listening to the Sajtun, and they will think that there are more problems which are coming now in their life, because Doots become very active. Before, you were not fighting with the Doots. Doots were doing their job. The 5 thieves, they were doing their job. They were looting your Amrit. Now, you are not letting them loot the Amrit. They will do their level best to stop you to go to the Nijkar. So Maharaj says, but don't do a rose. Don't be angry about it. Don't complain about that. And this is a parcha. This is your exam. You have to go through this. This is the system. This is a game Maharaj has made. First, the parcha is of the 5 doots. When you cross that parcha, then Maharaj use parcha as an exam, right? After that, the test is by the Sheet Singhs. Then Sheet Singhs will take your test. You will be doing the Simran, and then they will poke you. You'll say, who poked me? Because they want to test your dhyan then. How focused you are. How much love you have for Vaheguru. Do you have still a love for the other things? Because for the Gurmukhs who have reached on the top of Astha, they say, even if you will kill me, I will still jap naam. We have examples of Pai Taru Singh, Pai Mani Singh. They were cut into the pieces. Pai Taru Singh's whole, they were about to, cut his hair. He said, don't cut my hair. Take all my khopri out. My skull out. And he was doing Japji Sahib the part. He was doing the Simran then. Parche pende. Even Kabir Sahib went through a lot of parche. Physically also, and in the sukham, in the subtle way also, when you reach there. But Maharaj says, Kabir, Nirgun Naam Naros. Naam is very powerful. Don't complain. Be happy that you have received the Naam. Because this is just a parcha, your preparation that you will go to that Hirdayakar, to Nirpav, to Nijkar. Gaudi Kabir ji, Jo Jan Par Mit Par Man Jana. A lot of people say, oh, I know Vaheguru. Vaheguru is my friend. Batan hi Bekunt Samana. And there's a person who says that I know about Vaheguru. Because GuruNanak Dev Ji never said he knows about Vaheguru. He says his praises are limitless. Antana sifti, keh nant, antana karne de nant, antana vekhan sunan nant, antana jape, kya man mant. And you cannot find his limit. Nobody can know him fully. Nobody can understand his game fully. We can just play his game. We can accept his pana, his will, his sukam. We can stay in his will. But some people, they say, I know Vaheguru. Jo jan par mit par man jana. And then my mind knows. I know. Man here is onkar. I know about Vaheguru. And then man pakka pata hai Vaheguru kiddan da. And they know Batan hi Bekunt Samana. And he's just saying it. He's just babbling. He's just showing people that I will go to the Bekunt. I will go to the heavens. And Kabir Sahib says, Na jana Bekunt kahan hi. Jaan jaan sab kahe tarahi. And I don't know where the Bekunt is. Everybody says that Vaheguru is in Bekunt. Vaheguru is in Bekunt. In those days, during those times, in the Uttar Pradesh area, UP Bihar area, where Kabir Sahib was there, everybody used to talk about the word Bekunt, as in heaven. And they are Bekunt ch jana, Bekunt. I know God. I know how to go to the Bekunt. And then everybody is just saying it, that I have to go. I don't know how to go to the Bekunt. Na jana Bekunt kahan hi, jaan jaan sab kahe tahan hi. Sare kende ਇੱਥੇ hai. This is where the Bekunt is. Mostly people will point upstairs, upside, on the skies. The Bekunt, the heavens are in the sky. Kehen kahavan neh pati aayi hai, to man mane jate hume jai hai. The person who is saying, I know where the Bekunt is, where the heaven is, they don't know anything. Kehen kahavan neh pati aayi hai. I'm not pleased with them. I don't believe in them. Because I have found the secret. Only the person who knows where the Bekunt is, to man mane jate hume jai hai. When the ego is finished, Because if somebody is saying, I know everything, I know the secret of the God, I know the secret of the heavens, they don't know anything. Because that means the I factor is still there. The home is still there, the ego is still there. When the ego will go, then only mind will automatically, my mind will automatically, our mind will automatically find the Vaikuntha. Same thing when the thoughts will go away, when we will erase all the thoughts, when the mind will go to the Nijkar, Thirkar, Thirkar Baiso Harjan Pyare, Satgur Tumre Kasware. Mind has to go in the Thirkar. जब लग मन बैकुंठ की आस तब लग होए नहीं चरण निवास. And then when somebody says, I have to go to the heaven, I have to go to the heaven, the charan, the feet of Vaheguru, the Naam cannot come in their hirdakar, in their heart. They cannot have love for the Shabad. They cannot have love for Vaheguru. Because they have an agenda. They don't want to love Vaheguru. Because when you love somebody, even physically, in physical world, when you love somebody, you love them unconditional, especially for your kids. You will not test your kids or anything, right? You will not tell your kids to do this, then only I will love you. You will say, I love you unconditionally. There are no conditions attached. But Maharaj says the same thing. If the ask is, if the hope is that I have to go to the Vaikuntha, I have to go to the heaven, jab lag man, inside the mind, man hai inside the man, Vaikuntha ki ask. The hope is, oh, I have to go to the Vaikuntha. Tab lag hoye nahi charan nivas. Then the feet of Vaheguru, the charan of Vaheguru, as in the Naam, as in the Shabad, as in the Jot, will not come in their heart. E man merya tu sada ro har nalle. That har will not come in their heart. Kaho Kabir, eh kahiye kahe, sad sang Vaikuntha aahe. Why you are want to say about Vaikuntha? If you are sitting in the Sachi Sangat, if you are singing the praises of Vaheguru with love, Ram Naam da jap kar rahe ho, Vaheguru da jap kar rahe ho, you are chanting in the Sangat in love. Wah, Guru, wah. That is a Vaikuntha. You don't have to go anywhere. You are already in the Vaikuntha. Sangat is the Vaikuntha. The true congregation is the Vaikuntha, is the heaven. Kaho Kabir, eh kahiye kahe. Why to say about Vaikuntha? Why to have a hope for the Vaikuntha? We already are in Vaikuntha when we are in Sachi Sangat. Sad Sangat Vaikuntha aahe. If you want to go in the Vaikuntha, go in the Sachi Sangat. You will be already in heaven. Hanji Guru Pyareo, I'll open the mic and the camera for any questions. Hanji Guru Pyareo, koi sawal?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਦੋ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਤੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫਸਟ ਲਾਈਨ ਸੀਗੀ ਜੋਤ ਕੀ ਜਾਤ ਜਾਤ ਕੀ ਜੋਤੀ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤਿੱਤ ਲਾਗੇ ਕੰਚੂਆ ਫਲ ਮੋਤੀ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਸਮਝਾ ਦਿਓ, ਇਹ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹਜੇ. ਕੰਚੂਆ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਕੱਚਾ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ. ਜਾਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਜਾਤ ਮਤਲਬ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਸ਼ਨ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ.
I meant
ਜੋਤ ਤੋਂ
second
ਕ੍ਰੀਏਸ਼ਨ
line.
ਬਣੀ ਹੈ. from the light the creation is there, right? And inside the creation the jot is there. ਸਭ ਮੈਂ ਜੋਤ, ਜੋਤ ਹੈ ਸੋਏ, ਤਿਸ ਦੇ ਚਾਨਣ, ਸਭ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਨਣ ਹੋਏ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ. ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵਾਲੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਵੇਖ ਲਓ ਜੀ, ਤਿੱਤ ਲਾਗੇ ਕੰਚੂਆ ਫਲ ਮੋਤੀ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ, when Vaheguru ji created, Maharaj created a game of Shiv and Shakti. The whole game is about the Shiv and Shakti. ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੋਜ਼ ਅਸੀਂ, ਸ਼ਿਵ ਸ਼ਕਤ ਆਪ ਪਾਇ ਕੇ ਕਰਤੇ ਖੇਲ ਰਚਾਇਆ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
So that phal is, the fruit are of Shiv and Shakti, based on our karams, based on our surt, based on our focus, whether we can go on the kachi place, kacha as in maya kachi hai, phal naam ਮਿੱਠਾ ਫਲ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਉਹੀ ਮੋਤੀ ਹੈ, that is the moti also, moti ਦਾ ਫਲ as in ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਫਲ, based on our karma, based on our surt, based on our focus, because both of these things are inside us. These doots are also inside us, the maya is also inside us. ਮਾਇਆ ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕੱਚਾ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਗਿਆ, ਕੱਚਾ ਰੰਗ ਕੁਸੰਭ ਕਾ ਥੋੜੜਿਆ ਦਿਨ ਚਾਰ, ਇਟਸ ਅ ਕੱਚਾ ਰੰਗ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਮਾਇਆ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
शिव is naam, Shiv is the light,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Shakti is the Parvati, and Shakti is the Maya.
ਮਾਇਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਫਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਫਲ ਹੈ, ਮੋਤੀ ਦਾ ਫਲ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਫਲ। Actually,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
this is very deep. I'm glad that you are asking this, because first, when you start seeing the Prakash Roop is ਚਮਕਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਆਉਂਦਾ। When you will reach here, this place, right, when your surt is here in this
ਹਾਂਜੀ
area, silvery prakash will be there. It will be silvery. That's why some people describe, everybody describe it in a different way when they experience that. But that's why Vaheguruji is akat, it's indescribable. Some people will say motiya varga. Now moti, if you will see the pearl
ਹਾਂਜੀ
is little bit silverish, little bit moti.
right
ਨਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮੋਤੀ ਵਰਗਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਆਈ ਐਮ
ਉਹ
ਗਲੈਡ
ਤਾਂ
ਦੈਟ ਯੂ ਆਰ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ।
ਹੋਰ
ਭੈਣ
ਕੁਐਸਚਨ
ਜੀ
ਜੀ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਸੌਰੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਭੈਣ ਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਬਸ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਜੋ ਜਨ ਪਰ ਮਿਤ ਪਰ ਮਨ ਜਾਣਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਇਹਦਾ ਵਰਡ ਬਾਏ ਵਰਡ ਸਮਝਾ ਦਿਓ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ, ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਸੋਂ ਜੇ ਕਦੋਂ ਪੜਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਣਾ। ਦੂਜੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪਹਿਲੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦੀ।
ਜੋ ਜਨ ਪਰ ਮਿਤ, ਜਿੰਨੇ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਲੈਟਸ ਟੇਕ ਐਵਰੀਬਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਕ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼।
ਰਾਈਟ
ਸੋ anybody who has considered Vaheguru as their friend, they say he's my friend, I know, you know everybody, but
ਓਕੇ
and you think that Parbrahm is your friend by just saying it, you have not experienced Vaheguru. See, in those days also there were a lot of vidwans during the time of Kabir ji. Remember, Kabir ji Gurbani is always challenging, it's always questioning people, that you say that Vaheguru ji is such and such. He's my mitra. Myth here is Mayer, that I can Mayer Vaheguru, Parbrahm, how far it is. This tuk, when we read Patala, Patal, Lak, Akasa, Gas, that's not by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying, some people are saying that there are 100,000 Patal, they are measuring it. Patala, Patal, Lak, Akasha, Akash. That the Akash is also 100,000 Akash. Maharaj says that's Ved are saying that. Odak odak paal thake, Ved kehne ke baad. Kende, this is Ved is saying, and they're tired saying this. In the end of that podi, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, Lekha hoye ta likhiye, lekhe hoye vinas. It is countless. Nobody knows. Theory in the Gurbani, which is a practical, and that's why practical is must for everything. We think, we read it and we believe it, but Maharaj says experience it, go inside. Similarly, Maharaj is saying, and Kabir Sahib is saying that, I don't remember the full line, I have to again share the screen with you guys. But some people who say that they can measure it, I think it was the first Shabad, if I'm not wrong.
ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਵਨ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ।
It was just second one?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ।
Okay ji. हाँ जी। जो जन पर मित पर मन जाना. Par here is par Brahmanu. They say that they can measure it, right? Kende main janna va. My mind knows how big it is, how I can measure it. Batan hi bekunt samana. That they are, by just saying, they are merging in the bekunt. They are going in the heaven by just saying it. That means they don't have a practical experience. They are just saying it. That's why Kabir Sahib is saying, Na jana bekunt kahan hi, jaan sab kahe tahan hi. People are saying it, but they don't have a practical experience. And I don't know where the Vaikuntha is, where the heaven is. And that's why in the end, Maharaj says, Sad Sangat Vaikuntha Ahi. ठीक है जी गुरु प्यारे.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
No
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
problem.
ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ. ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਲ? Anybody else has a question? Related to Bhakti, going once, going twice, going thrice.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਜੀ.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਸ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਨਾ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਰਹਿਰਾਸ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਆਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਕ 405 ਚਰਿਤ੍ਰ ਸਮਾਪਤ, ਉਸ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ? ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਾਂ ਐਂਡ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ.
That's not a standardized rasab. Every jathebandi has their own rasab. That's actually
ਹਾਂਜੀ
not part of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. That's
ਅੱਛਾ
part of Dasam Granth Sahib, right? It
ਹਾਂਜੀ
is part of the Chaupai. That was
ਹਾਂਜੀ
actually when Guru Gobind Singh Ji was writing the Charitar,
ਅੱਛਾ ਜੀ
and he said this is the end of 405th Charitar. There is a book inside the Dasam Granth Sahib, a
ਅੱਛਾ ਜੀ
section of Guru Dasam Granth Sahib, which is called Charitropakhyan. Chaupai
ਓਕੇ
Sahib actually is part of Charitropakhyan. When it says
ਅੱਛਾ
405 Charitra Smapat, that means 405 Charitras has ended from now. So he's completing it. But that's not a standardized rasab. Standardized rasab is from the Kaltak Sahib. It ends with the Sagal Dwar ko chhad ke gaye Taro Dwar. Pori to khatam hunda mumma. When you will read, it's a by me 22nd. Now there's an expanded version, different jathebandis. That's why our month is divided into different jathebandis. Every jathebandi read it in a different way. I don't belong to any jathebandi, so whatever standardized stuff is there from Akal Takht Sahib, we follow that. But that's fine. If somebody is reading it, very respectable. Everybody is respectable. ठीक है प्यारे?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਚਰਿੱਤਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਾਈਕ
खत्म
ਸਾਡੇ
हो गए
ਮਨ
थे
ਦੇ
405. हाँ जी, 405 चरित्र खत्म हो गए थे. The total charittras were probably 405. I don't know how many charittras are there, but that was the end of the 405th charitra. My knowledge is that the Chaupai Sahib is the end of the Charitra Pakyan, so it ends there.
ਓਕੇ
ठीक है जी.
ਅੱਛਾ ਜੀ ਠੀਕ
हाँ
ਹੈ
जी.
ਓਕੇ.
Any Bhakti related question प्यारे हो? Anything if you're
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
stuck
ਕਾ
somewhere?
ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. हाँ जी गुरु प्यारे, any other question related to Bhakti?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਪਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ 1.5 ਘੰਟਾ ਸਾਸ ਗ੍ਰਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅੱਧਾ ਘੰਟਾ ਫਿਰ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ. ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਸ ਗ੍ਰਾਸ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ 1.5 ਘੰਟਾ, ਐਂਡ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੋਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੜ ਹੀ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਕਦੇ ਲੱਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੌਂਕੜੀ ਮਾਰਦੇ, ਕਦੇ ਉੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਹੋ. ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ
No, no, no,
ਸਾਸ
no, no.
ਗ੍ਰਾਸ, ਹਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਸ
सास
ਗ੍ਰਾਸ.
ग्रास. Keep on doing सास ग्रास.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ,
No,
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ.
at time reduce हो जाएगा. But sometimes भैन जी, let me be very honest with you. Sometimes साड़ी life च बहुत कुछ चल रहा है. A lot of things are going on in our life, right? So
ਹਾਂਜੀ
sometimes it is challenging, right? So on those days, saas grass is the best bet. 2-2, 2.5, 3-3 घंटे, so that our mind should go in peace. Mind silent हो जाए, मन साडा silent हो जाए. ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸਾਸ ਗ੍ਰਾਸ. ठीक
ਹਾਂਜੀ
है?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ.
Saas gras simran is a key. Guru mantra is the key. Everything will happen by just with the Guru mantra, with Vaheguru Ji's kripa. आज प्यार पालो गुरु मंत्र नाल, बस प्यार प्यार दी खेड है. It's a game of love. आओ जी, वाह tummy in, listen to your voice. Guru tummy out, listen to your voice. 10 मिनट वास्ते सिमरन कर लिए. वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु. सेवा कर लो गुरु को. वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह
वाहिगुरु 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 Vahenuru, 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 Vai, nere, 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 vai, ਨਿਰ ਵਾਹਿ 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 ਨਿਰ अंतर्गत सिमरन वाहिगुरु जी। मनी बोले मनी सुने। वाहिगुरु जी। हम अवगुण भरे एक गुण नाही, अमृत छाड़ बिखे बिख खाई, माया मोह परम पै भूले, सुत दारा स्यो प्रीत लगाई। एक उत्तम पंथ सुनियो गुर संगत, तह मिलंत जम त्रास मिटाई। कर दास पाठ की रखी, गुरु रामदास राखो शरनाई। एक अरदास पाठ कीरत की, गुरु रामदास राखो शरनाई। बोल जुगदी